and England's Gary Wilson. After a fascinating week of snooker, it all comes down to this. First to 10, 140,000 to the winner.
Xiao won here 12 months ago. Gary Wilson winning 3 ranking events, but this would be elevated above the home nations, both on the up clearly. On their, their current status. Xiao Guodong, talking about a player that couldn't get great punch of the air in some of the matches he's won. He's a good competitor these days, Xiao Guodong, more so than I always felt he was. Something. He's an aggressive player. He takes his shots on. Of course, he's missed that one, and he played some great stuff towards the end. I think it's a really difficult match to call. I noticed the bookmakers had it with Xiao Guodong a very slight favourite, but you. Just slightly a push the key ball through with topspin here.
4.
Lovely shot. As I say, he's a really good player these days. 36 years of age. He's been around a while. Would get to a quarter-final or semi-final or the odd final and just not really look like he was.
Twenty.
He seems to have picked up the pace of the table well. That's perfectly, I thought, later in the day. Sometimes the cushions play a little differently. Well, that'll annoy him. He's not on a red and all. So maybe he could have made a few more, but not for the want of trying.
You could just see the focus there, couldn't you, on his face as he lined that one up.
That's ever so well played. So yeah, good start. Well, not that time. You can see that it went all. Didn't see that coming, missing the first red.
So third score and chance for Xiao Guodong, already a useful lead in the front. Bearing in mind he didn't play in the Saudi Arabia Masters, the biggest ranked event in terms of points outside of the World Championship.
Good stuff. Very good.
6.
So, yeah. Well, he would. Pretty good. That'll do him. Strange how those shots are missable.
23.
But you feel all. Guodong. That's a good way, actually. Now, that is a clever shot. So he did free it from the red and actually hit the red. So Guodong will.
It's not quite been that dominant, has it? He's needed several chances. Looking to become the 42nd and the fourth to successfully defend his maiden ranking title. The last one to do that was his opponent, Gary Wilson.
Seventeen.
I'm sure Xiao Guodong has enjoyed looking at it for the last year. This tournament actually was a little bit later in the year last season, so it's not quite 12 months.
34. 37. 41. 46.
So it did take a few visits, but Xiao Guodong in the end has dominated frame one. And the most recent was 4 years ago, so not really that relevant.
Worth saying that Gary Wilson didn't pot a ball in that frame, but he missed one.
One.
Playing to that level, you can't do it every day.
That's a very good shot. That was
7.
well, how about that for a miss?
Xiao Guodong, 7. 1.
So now Gary Wilson with a proper chance, and he finished off his match yesterday so well.
Nine.
Interesting. Wow, there's some balls being missed here, aren't there?
1.
Well, maybe that's even easier than the last. Well, I thought that Gary Wilson's miss was
Xiao Guodong,
a sitter.
1.
That is
1.
no, didn't go in.
7.
This event being used for the seedings for the time to be there is for the UK Championship. You don't have to qualify.
15.
And then that's the cut-off for the Masters. So that'll be his aim, not just to get... Well, this is more like it, and he could easily have been punished for missing that red early.
Oh, goodness me. What have they done to the middle pockets on this table?
1.
Final's a big occasion for anyone, but you've got to remember these two
9.
took a long time before winning their first last year, 17 years later. that he finally won a ranking event. So it's still a big deal just to be in a final. And
17.
After what we've seen in this frame, seems like nothing's a certainty.
25. $33.
It's not bad. He had to... Oh, another one in the middle pocket's missed. It's becoming
Xiao
an
Guodong, 40.
unwanted. Will that opportunity come at all?
1.
In behind this, it's got to be really close. And that's well played.
Xiao Guodong, 1.
A bit inconsistent this week. Well, that's well survived. And Xiao now trying to get in behind the colour. That's a very good shot. And
Foul. Foul.
almost. Well, that's pretty good. Quite deceptive, wasn't it, that other camera angle?
is that, you know, everything is potable here. But he really needs a frame on the board, and that's not great. Needs the red to run past the pocket. Nervy start, and we've seen it plenty of times before. Well, he's pushed the brown safe. That doesn't favour him. He got the...
Guodong now turning the screw. Great shot.
Well, he's in another one. Can't afford to leave the red on.
He kind of...
That's a good pot. For the very reason you state with the mistake. falling a long way behind early on, clearly.
10.
I've seen a few missed in the middles, but that was literally unmissable. So he's won the first 2 frames. There we go. Now it's easy. Clearly that appeals to Xiao Guodong. And despite not being at his best so far,
Xiao Guodong,
he's leading
17,
2-0 in the course, best of 19, trailing 2-0. And I suppose the only consolation is he's not been completely outplayed so far. It's been bits and pieces stuff, really.
Well, this is where the game is between the ears, a lot of it, because these frames, he's on the back foot already, it seems. Feels like a very close match on paper, doesn't it? You'd off one cushion, roll into the bunch here. Doesn't look particularly troublesome. The colour.
Foul. Xiao Guodong,
Things
4.
on. The other way round. Say Guodong's all-round game is pretty good these days. Played a good cue ball on this case when the red goes in. No snooker this time.
Gary Wilson, 1.
Oh, this was hit much too thin in contact. Gary Wilson.
1.
His highest break so far, just 22. Just looking to play himself into the sort of form we've seen from him level.
8.
He's a really good player, isn't he? I mean, we saw that yesterday. But right now, it's just not happening at all.
Gary Wilson, 14. 1.
Well, they've certainly both struggled, but actually Guodong has played some scrappy old frame. The red's now awkward.
Xiao Guodong, 1.
He's got to concern himself where the reds are all going to go here. It's always the problem. You're never in real control over that. He's left one. Interesting he played that red. I was thinking he would play the one shot. So you don't see it on this shot, but it's a bit jumpy and jerky. And that's another absolutely terrible shot, I think. Nice shot.
7.
Nice shot. Now the next. Again, not the.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mental challenge more than anything for Gary Wilson, right?
Yeah, I think a good friend in snooker, John Virgo, once said, didn't he, that you never match.
Yeah, if you look at the 3 ranking titles he's won, the 3 Home Nations titles.
Well, it's not the worst shot, but he has left a long red. But they're not going in. They're just not going in, and goodness, hitting the blue. Well, maybe Gary will. And start again. Shots from your memory.
8.
You see now that the cycle way. It's one of the things that the great Terry Griffiths used to tell me. I used to occasionally be helped by him. He's probably sitting there thinking, well, have I missed the boat? You know, I could have got him cold. And the standard could go up any level from here.
It's the opposite. They're kind of dragging one another down. But an important visit for Gary Wilson. He just needed a frame, like you say, and he should have won this one.
27.
Classic, but it has not started in that way.
I think.
Well, that miss not so significant because the frame in Gary Wilson looking to get to 4 titles. He would be tied actually with Ryan Day, Luca Brissell and Barry Hawkins.
1.
Very good shot. He potted a lot. Well, he could have done.
Gary Wilson, 8.
Again, that's a good shot.
Themselves vote.
Well, this time he's not played it so well. overhit it by a long way.
1.
Very nice. By some margin, the best shot he's hit to.
Well, we've not had a 50 break yet, but if Gary Wilson didn't look comfortable and made a lot of mistakes himself.
4. 12. 20.
Certainly tried to up the pace. You see, I think Wilson does that, you know, not so much only because he wants to be fluent. I think he wants to just
28.
play quickly and just get on with the game, and that's the decision he's made.
36.
This time in the middle pocket, it's not proving any problem. Left corner. In fact, I'm just seeing that maybe not. But that was a good shot.
$52.
Oh my goodness.
Gary Wilson, 52.
To play. You know, it's quite unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, so much respect.
So Gary Wilson, after all that, does pot frame ball. It's been a struggle for both.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of things that are surprising us, Dave, isn't it? A, that these two have played so well, and B, Wuhan have been fairly generous this week, and we haven't seen many balls missed at all, but frames has been a lot of balls missed. But I'm thinking this off.
13. 14.
Long way to go, of course.
22.
Looked like he could certainly be 3-0 down, and then who knows after that. The fact is he has come back. OK, didn't kill that frame off in one visit, but we're going to be all square at the interval.
Gary Wilson,
As I say, I think they're both welcome the 15-minute break, just a chance to collect their thoughts. Who's going to take the advantage into the evening session? 140,000 to the winner. And it's not only that these days, of course, you're getting the champion a chance.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably closer to 200, though. It's, I think when you're out there playing, I don't suppose that really comes into it.
Foul.
Trying to lift this trophy is all.
Xiao
As we see
Guodong,
that ball
4.
missed. So that was hit too thick. But there's a lot of snooker to be played between now and the cut-off for that, which is at the end of the UK Championships.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. I mean, the rank the following season.
One.
That's more like it.
Just a moment, please. 8.
Well, that's not close. So
Xiao Guodong, 8.
right now, well,
5.
Just got there.
12. $50.
Doesn't mean he's going to stay that way, but he's just finding his game, and whether it's just snooker. But
22.
at 2-0 to Xiao Guodong, Gary Wilson was the game. Didn't let himself get affected by it.
28.
Then missed that blue. He'd taken a long time over deciding what to actually play and didn't get close to the pot. Just start to take a bit of control in this mini session.
$42. $49.
Well, I think the top red is available. The lead.
56.
That's perfect. And very well played. Avoided the pink. That's the only way that could have gone. Never going to be a slip up that time, and all of a sudden, Wilson.
Yeah, hasn't slipped up this time. This is comfortably the highest break of the day so far. He's going to go 3-2 up.
69.
And the pressure now on Piers Wilson has managed to do that. Final.
77.
We've had 80 down on last year. We had 114 last year. But it's still plenty for a week snooker.
84.
Well, I think a century break, just feeling that he's back in the match, or really in the match now.
87.
Sometimes, you know, they only win a frame, and what he could do with this.
91.
Well, he's
96.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, the break ends at 96, by far the biggest of the final.